So I did a short that had a picture of an article that says that the median wealth of Black families by the year of 2053 will be at 0. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to unpack what that really means and what that can mean for us going forward, and what are some of the steps that we can do to make sure that that does not go into fruition. Hi, and thank you for tuning in to Starr Knows Credit. On this channel, I talk personal and business credit and everything else that's going to help us level up and get the bag. So thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If this is your first time, I hope you consider being a subscriber, and make sure everybody, y'all hit that like button for me so this video can get pushed out to more viewers that want to see this kind of content. Thank you so much. So guys, with no delay, I'm going to go ahead and let's get into today's video. So as I was telling you guys in the intro, that I did a short that I released on my channel talking about how by 2053 that the median wealth of Black Americans will be down to 0 if we continue on the current trend. So I had a lot of negative comments, so I wound up having to cut the comments off on that actual post, because some people were actually being racist on the comments. Some people were actually, you know, like cursing out on the comments or whatever. So it was really getting a lot of negative, you know, reviews and people and stuff like that. Even somebody called me an idiot because I posted the article, and the article is from 2017. But I read the article and I know when the article was published. So here's the thing, guys. I did not publish the article to start any type of negative thing. It's just awareness, okay? Because if you don't see where this economy is headed, then you are blind. And if this video was posted in 2017, then I like to look at stuff as a foreshadow. They didn't say that the Black wealth was going to be completely broke tomorrow, but it's saying that if we continue at the current trend that we are at, then we could be, you know, at 0. And when it says median wealth gap, the median wealth, that means the middle class, Black middle class. So whatever it considered middle class in your area, because all areas are different depending on where you live at, but Black middle class could be wiped out. But I'm gonna tell you one thing for sure, all middle class is going to be wiped out at the rate that we're going now, because of all the statistics that are out there, if we don't change our habits and our spending habits. So let me pull up some more data for you. So look at this right here. Spending power reaches record 1.6 trillion, but net worth falls. So a CNBC's Frank Holland joins the Squawk Box to report the Black spending power reached a record 1.6 trillion in 2021, although the group's net worth declined 14%. And this article is from Tuesday, February the 1st of 2022. So think about that. The first article that was put out was in 2017, and now in 2022, 5 years later. So that let me know that we still are not putting our money where we need our money to go, in order that we are securing our financial future and also securing our financial future for the next generation, like my own son, and if he has kids, and that, and go, you know, and so on and so forth. We have to close that gap. Now I understand, because we have not always had the best foot forward, but now we do have the opportunity to have a lot of the things that we did not have previously because of who we are and our skin color. So we can't use that always as an excuse to not do better, especially when we know better. So one of the things that I wanted to also point out was, right now, as of an article that I'll pull up again, 62% since September of this year, 2023, 62% of all Americans, not just Black, but all Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and that's including six-figure incomes. So even high earners, not just people that are considered, you know, middle class, or even the higher middle class people now, are also feeling the pinch of high inflation, also from Fed rate hikes, because now it's costing us more money to borrow on a credit card, car loans, and all our normal stuff that we may have to borrow on, especially houses, everything is so much more expensive. So even rent is higher now, of course. You name it, groceries, gas, everything is high. So now we have to understand that more people are relying on their credit cards, and there's also data with that because credit card debt is in the trillions. So people are using their credit cards and other types of loan products to bridge the income gap, because even though all these other things are going up, you know, transportation, food, and housing, all this other stuff is going up, but our income is not matching where everything else is going. So with that being said, a lot of people are having to use debt to bridge the income, to bridge that gap. It's like right now, if we don't stop where we're headed, this could come true, but not just for Black Americans, but for all Americans that's considered middle class, because our income is not matching where our economy is right now. Like one of those things that we have to do what we can do to help ourselves. So I know I kind of stumble over myself because I do get kind of upset about how a lot of us don't want to educate ourselves to learn and to know better about our financial future, especially our personal finance. And even though this is a channel that talks about credit, and I try to tell you about the good credit card offers that's out there, about the good credit unions that are out there, I also want you to be responsible with the credit that you're taking out. Not just getting credit just because you can get credit and then create yourself in a debt hole, but to make sure that the credit that you're getting is going to make sense for the things that you're trying to do, for the goals that you're trying to accomplish. So one thing that we can do to make sure that we are not going to have to face whatever it is that they're putting out here in the media is to make sure that we are paying down our debts and not getting into any more debt. Okay, we need to pay down whatever debts that we already have out there. So if you already have credit cards and you're carrying a balance, you're not able to pay those credit cards off completely every month, then you need to really work on paying those credit cards down, because those credit card interest rates are so crazy right now. You got a card that's under 20% from any bank, credit union, or anywhere that's got credit cards issued right now. If it's under 20% that you're paying in interest, that's good, because everything now is over 20%, pushing 30% if it's not already over 30%. So you got to pay these credit cards balances down, because it's actually just throwing money away to interest. And that money can be saved and it can be used to put into investments so that you can build wealth, because there's a difference between having money and having wealth. I did a short before that said wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is what you are building behind the scenes. Wealth is those investments, those rental income or whatever, those passive income streams that's coming in, that's being reinvested and invested for your future and for the future of your family, that you want to pass these things down to make sure that they have a good future. That's what wealth is. Wealth is not being all the flash and all that type of stuff and buying things that hold no value. So when I look at articles that says that Black spending power is at 1.6 trillion, but our wealth is going down 14%, that makes me wonder, where are we spending all that money? You know, are we spending it in a bunch of consumerism? Are we buying stuff that's not going to make our wealth grow? So that's what we got to be looking at. We got to be looking at, where are we putting our money, and make sure that our money have a destination. If you don't tell your money where to go, your money will tell you where to go. If you don't have something in place, a goal set for your money is just doing whatever it wants to do. And then at the end of the week or at the end of your pay period or whatever, you are broke again. So we have to stop those trends, especially if you don't have any stocks, bonds, investments, other than you may have 401k or something like that. But we got to make sure that we are setting ourselves up. Now, I'm 45 years old, and you know, I'm supposed to be able to retire when I'm 67. So that's 22 years from now. So that would be 2045, I think. That would be 2045 for me. And this article is saying 2053. So think about that. I would be in my 60s and I'm supposed to be able to retire. But if I haven't set myself up, if I haven't paid my credit card debts down, if I haven't paid all things where I can stop paying high interest and actually be putting those things in different investments and stuff like that to actually grow my wealth instead of giving my wealth away, then I'm not going to be ready. And And that's going to be in 2045, and I won't have anything to pass down to my son. So it's got to be this realistic conversation, guys, that we got to have. And like I said, it's not just Black America, it's really America, period. We got to just sit down and have these hard conversations about money that sometimes we shy away from because of whatever, you know. It's always a sticky subject. Money can make us emotional. That's why I had to take the comments off the short. But it's just one of those things that we really just have to think about on a daily basis to make sure that are we setting ourselves up. So look at how old you are. Are you on track to when you are able to retire at retirement age? Will you be able to retire? Will you have the money to retire? Or will you still be trying to pay off credit card debt or a house or whatever, you know, or will you still be in debt? So will that make you still have to work longer? Okay, look at all those different things in your life and start setting some goals so that you know where you're headed and where your money is headed. Just make sure that we're on track so that these things that they're putting out here in the media don't come to fruition and we not be a part of the statistic that they're saying that can and could happen, you know. So we just have to make sure that we are doing our part. So please, guys, let me know what you think about what's going on right now, and do you think that we're headed to being at zero by 2053? I'd like to know what you think about that. Please leave me a comment. And again, I appreciate you watching my videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Peace.